All right. Hello, everybody. I'm here with my friend, Jeannie Jacobson. Thanks for being here, Jeannie.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Jeannie recently joined us on the Reset and Recharge retreat. So she's going to share a little bit about her experience. But first, let me introduce her. She's an amazing human being. If you know her, you already know that. And if you don't know her, you would know that from the minute you meet her. I definitely felt that from the moment I met you. So Jeannie was voted the 2022 People's Choice Award for Treasure Coast Favorite Realtor. She specializes in helping her clients win regardless of the ever-changing state of the real estate market. She anticipates the needs of her clients, maintains exceptional communication, and she's fluent in Spanish and helps her clients to navigate the exciting and sometimes overwhelming home buying and home selling process. Jeannie is ranked among the top 1% of realtors in the United States. When she told me that in Colombia, I was like, dang, that she's good. Based on her annual production, working with Jeannie, you can expect the highest level of professionalism. You can expect to close, and as reflected in her 5-star reviews, you can look forward to being treated like family. I can definitely attest to that. To ensure success for her clients, Jeannie surrounds herself with elite partners and mentors. This includes, for example, her partnership with Matt Weaver, the nation's #1 mortgage originator for 2022 purchase transactions, and her continued mentorship by Mike Ferry, the global leader in real estate coaching for the past 40 years. Jeannie is committed to educating her South Florida community about the simplicity of buying a home and the wealth creation and significance that home ownership brings to a family. She achieves this through the multiple Smart Home Buyer and Hometown Heroes event that she hosts monthly in Port St. Lucie and Palm Beach Gardens. Awesome. Anything else you want to add to that?
Oh my goodness. No, you said it all.
Oh,
Thank you for introducing me and for such a nice introduction. And you did say something in there about how I partner with people in my community and that I lean on them. And that has a lot to do with what I do with you and the work that you provide to our community and why I chose to come on the retreat. So it's a really nice segue into the mentorship part of what I do, how to pour into myself.
thank you. Thank you. What inspired you to become a realtor?
Oh my gosh, people. I love people. That's human beings are so beautiful. And when you get to take the time with them, which you really do in real estate, becomes very intimate. Other than healthcare, really what's more important than, having a roof over your head, right?
Right, it's part
So,
of the basic needs, right?
right.
Shelter.
So I have a healthcare background of 15 years, and I really got to spend a lot of time with our patients and the people that we served. And so I have a servant's heart. So to be in real estate, that seemed pretty natural to me to be able to serve our community and people here in that way.
And you're super successful at it. But like you said, I think it's because you do love people. Like that's so apparent when you meet you, when somebody meets you and knows you, how much you care about people. You're super passionate.
Thank you. It definitely comes from a genuine place.
So you came on the recent Reset and Recharge retreat, which
Yes.
was an awesome, great experience. What inspired you to come on the retreat?
You know, we just talked a little bit about how I pour into others, and you can't give someone what you don't have. And I've learned that throughout my life. And so continuing to pour in me allows for me to continue to pour into others. And so being on this retreat was really a huge moment of realization for me to continue to do what I say and really pour into myself and do the work. And um, it was a no brainer. It honestly was a no brainer when it came to going on a retreat with you. And you inspire me, you and Jorge, and what you guys, the work that you guys do. It comes from such a place of love, and you hold such a safe space for people to be able to share and to be able to let go and to pour into themselves.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What would you say to, you're a mom of two, you're a married woman, you have a successful, thriving business, you have, and you're on boards for nonprofits. Like it's not like you don't have a full agenda and a very abundant life. Like, what would you say to the person who's contemplating going on a retreat or doing like something that can, there's a considerable amount of time and money to invest in themselves? Like, what
Sure.
obstacles did you overcome? Or what would you say to that person who's like, I don't know if I can take the time off, or I don't know if I should do something like this for myself?
Mhm. Really great question. I'm glad you asked because we all do that, right? We have a decision to make. We really want to do it, but there's always the but. And I feel like if you can just pause, which is something I struggle with doing, and I'm learning how to pause and ask yourself realistically, can you afford not to? So if it's about money, can you afford really not to do this retreat? And that's about giving to yourself and being able to take the time. Like you mentioned, I'm a mom of two, so um, leaving my little guys and my
Just say
husband
your
and
kids are
my
still young.
right, and I'm an entrepreneur, so leaving a whole business, it wasn't easy, and it would have been a lot easier to say, I just can't. But once I sat down and I put a plan together, I think it always starts with that. If you have a dream, then what's the plan to get you there? Columbia, I didn't know it, but it ended up being a part of my dream. So then the next step was, okay, well, then what am I going to do to get there? What's the plan? How can I execute it? Maybe that's the business side of me that says that just a tad, um,
Yeah.
right? But also the spiritual side of me and the giving part of me to bring me to a place of solitude and serenity and giving myself that time so I can be that better mother, be that better wife, be the best I can be for my clients. It affects them too. The
Right.
attitude, the mindset, it's everything. So I would say to that person, don't even take another second. Write down a plan and figure it out and how to get there. Because when you do it, it's going to be the most incredible experience of your life. It's something that I'll continue to do. I will never stop doing this ever. It was my first retreat, never did anything like it. And there will never be a year where I don't go.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think, especially if you've never made an investment like that, time wise, commitment wise to yourself, but especially the first time, because you're like, what is that unknown? Like,
Yeah.
what is that going to be like? But you can't turn, like you said, you can't turn back. Once you do it and you invest in yourself and you experience peace or solitude, enjoyment, you get to know yourself more. You're in like a perfect environment for being
Mhm.
healthy. Like,
That's
then
right.
it brings out so much, and it has a positive effect on your motherhood, on your relationships and
Yeah.
your business, all of those things.
Right. It's certainly a trickle down effect. It is.
Is there anything you'd like to add about how your experience, like what your experience was like, what you learned?
Sure. Oh my gosh. There were so many things that I learned, tools that I learned that I'm applying to my daily life now that I didn't have before. I mean, something as simple as 3 mindful breaths, right? And to be honest with you, it sounds kind of crazy, but I tell my kids all the time, okay, let's take a deep breath and take a few deep breaths, but I was never breathing correctly. So even when in teaching them, I wasn't teaching them properly. And so that even helps learning how to breathe correctly and how to take those 3 mindful breaths and then pause and what to do next
And
and do
hopefully
it.
you can teach that to your kids on an even deeper
Yes.
level now. Like, oh, this is how you really breathe, and this is how you
Right.
pause.
Right. And then you start bonding. So, like, there's nothing negative about that. Like, you're only being able to give. I can give that to my mom now. I can give that to my sister, to my family, to my loved ones that maybe don't know. So for me, you learn these tools and then you try to give them back where you can to your family members, encourage them to take your classes and to go on retreats because you know what it's done for you. Um, Another thing I got out of it was EFT. And the EFT tapping, that's been pretty incredible. And while I've watched YouTube videos on it previous, and it's not the same. It's not. When you sat
Get
there
it for
teaching
sure.
us
Yeah.
and you're with the group and you give the philosophy and the reasoning behind it and why it's important and how it really does affect your mind, body, spirit, soul, all of it, and you implement it, I mean, that made a huge difference. So now I'm teaching my kids. We were driving the other day and I'm like, this is tapping, like let's do it together. And I start teaching them a little bit. So um that's another thing I would say. I mean, I really could go on and on. Those are the two things that I've been able to implement in my life and make sure that I do implement them because you leave this bubble in a retreat of like this happy space where you're, leading with kindness and with non-judgment, and you're really being intentional about what you're doing and where you are and being present. So bringing that back into my life, I have to say I've done, and your follow-ups that you provide after the retreat, post retreat, super important and very unexpected. Way to go above and beyond to make sure that your people are continuing to hold that space and use the tools that you've taught.
Thank you. Yeah, the integration piece is so important because the retreat environment, like you said, it's love, it's peaceful, you have that mindfulness, you can really practice that in such a conducive environment. Then you go back home, and so it's like, okay, how do I
Hmm.
do it here? And that's where our life is, right? Wherever we are in the present moment, life is happening,
That's
and
right.
there's always an opportunity to keep practicing and integrating. I like
Yes,
what you said
absolutely.
about teaching your boys that. We had the workshop on, or the class for EFT on Saturday, and everyone was like, kids need to know this. This is such a good thing for kids. I'm like, yes,
Yes.
it's EFT for kids.
Yes.
Awesome
Yes.
tool to teach.
It's wonderful for kids. And, just if I know it, then I can teach it a little bit with them, and then maybe they can attend a class with me with you.
Oh, that'd be
Um,
cool.
that would be a lot of fun. But Brittany, I have to say, anywhere from the yoga and the exercise and the private chefs we had come was fantastic, because again, it's just part of being, it allowed, I think, us as a group to be present for the meal, to engage with one another. It's just something that you don't get to do every day in your worky, busy, hustle bustle life and what this world requires of us, right? So when you slow down and do that with intention, eat with intention, not worried about the next thing that's happening, but that doesn't just happen automatic. It's truly because of the space that you created for that. I really just have to say that over and over again, because sure, anyone could say like, oh, let's go to this Airbnb and, be in a retreat, like, right? But your plan and your schedule is so good. And it didn't feel like I was even on a schedule. It was very fluid.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, it helps to have, like you said, slowing down, having the meals, having that space created.
Hmm.
That intention, that intentionality. And
Yeah,
then you have people around you who are with the same or similar intentions. So the energy is to slow down, enjoy,
right.
reflect, tune in, all of those things.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you so much.
Oh my goodness. It's my pleasure. Anything for you, Brittany. I
Thank you.
mean, I think the world of you and Jorge, and I want the best for you guys. And whoever's listening, if you have not signed up for Costa Rica, then you need to. My husband and I are looking to sign up for this retreat. It's in September, right?
Yeah, it's September 24th to 30th. We have like 3 or 4 rooms left. So
Oh my gosh, we're so excited. We want to be on board. So hopefully I get there before the listeners.
it'll be a great thing to do as a couple too.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. What a way to connect in a way that you usually don't.
Right. Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I won't keep you any longer. I know you have
Okay.
houses to sell and
Yes,
people buying houses, but if
I
anybody in
do.
our area has any real estate questions or wants to list their house, looking to buy a house, I highly recommend Jeannie. Like I said, once you meet her, you're like family. She's super genuine, and she walks the talk. She's somebody of integrity that really cares about serving her community in so many ways.
Thank you so much, Brittany. I appreciate you.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
having me on.
I'll see you soon on our integration call.
Okay, see you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.